In previous lecture, we have studied about this Cauchy's root test and D'Alembert's ratio test. And in this, we have already discussed, we have seen that if ratio test exists, if limit of un by un plus 1 exists, then in that case, you will find that nth root. I mean, this Cauchy's root test will also exist. But or in other words, I can say that when ratio test is applicable, then root test is applicable. But its converse need not be true. I mean, if say this Cauchy's root test is applicable, but it may happen that ratio test may not be applicable. So, in fact, I have discussed a question based on this one. So this one is the question in which one can check that as per Cauchy's root test, this series is convergent. This summation un, where un is given by this term, is convergent. Whereas if you look at its nth ratio, a limit of its un by un plus 1, then you can see that it has two different limits, and it is not taking same limit for every n. It is not taking. Here we have 8, and one can see that here we have half. So I can say that so this D'Alembert's ratio test fails here. Now another important one, I would just like to recall in short, this one, logarithmic test. So logarithmic test, as per statement of this one, if summation un is a series of positive terms such that limit n tending to infinity, n log un upon un plus 1 is equal to L, then this series summation un is convergent if L is greater than 1, and series summation un is divergent if L is less than 1. So we will apply this test when limit of un upon un plus 1, it involves the exponential term e. So I will discuss some questions based on this one. But before let us recall that it's important to observe that under which test is applicable, we need to involve the condition. Look at the conditions. For example, see comparison test. If suppose summation un is the given series, and if this un does not involve any power of x involving n, or when un does not involve factorial, then it's good to apply comparison test. And Cauchy's root test, when your power this involves n, so it will be better to apply Cauchy's root test. In case of D'Alembert's ratio test, when series involve increasing power of x, then in that case one can apply D'Alembert's ratio test. And it's good to apply logarithmic test when the limit of when this un upon un plus 1 involves the term exponential, exponential. So for example, let us discuss the convergence of this series. This one is given 1 plus x by 2 plus factorial 2 by 3 square x square, and so on. Now look at it, contains increasing power of x, and here the nth term is given by factorial n upon n plus 1 to the power n x to the power n, neglecting the first term, and this one is un plus 1, replacing n by n plus 1, we will get this term. Now look at the limit of un upon un plus 1. So your un upon un plus 1 is basically on simplification, we will get this e by x. So this un upon un plus 1 involves the term exponential here. So it's good to apply logarithmic test here. Because look here, after taking limit 1 plus 2 by n to the power n, it's of the form 1 to the power infinity. So if you consider it as a is equal to 1 plus 2 by n to the power n, and by it's of the type 1 to the power infinity. So by taking log on both sides and then take antilog and limit, you'll find its value as e to the power 2 by n into n. where limit n tending to infinity. So n get cancelled out, you will have e square. So using that technique, it will be equal to e square. Limit of this one will be 1. As n tends to infinity, 2 by n will become 0. And thus we have this term e upon x. So next we will apply. Now, one can observe from here that as per D'Alembert's ratio test, this series converges if e by x is greater than 1 or x is less than e, and diverges if e by x is greater than 1, and diverges if e by x is less than 1, sorry. If e by x is less than 1 or x is greater than e. Now question is, what will happen at x equal to e? Whether e will be included in convergent case or divergent case. So for that, just look at the limit. In case x equal to e, we have limit as e upon x. So put x equal to e here, we have 1. And in case your limit of this ratio un upon un plus 1 it becomes 1, we cannot conclude anything from D'Alembert's ratio test, or one can say that D'Alembert's test fails here. So we need to apply some other test. So now remember that if your expression involves, if the term un upon un plus 1, if this expression un upon un plus 1, it involves the exponential e. So but it's good to apply logarithmic test, because that will make your calculation easier. So taking log on both sides, now you can see from the previous one that we have simplified it. And on simplifying, we have the un upon un plus 1 as un upon un plus 1. This ratio as this one. I have not written limit here. If limit is there, then we need to, I need to write limit everywhere. Limit. So this is basically your n plus 2 to the power n plus 1 upon n plus 1 to the power n plus 1 into x. So let us take limit on both sides. Limit on both sides. So this expression is basically this un upon un plus 1 is u1 plus 2 by n to the power n plus 1 upon 1 plus 1 by n to the power n plus 1 into x, into 1 by x. So at x equal to e, we have 1 by e here. Now take log on both sides, because this is the requirement of logarithmic test. Take log on both sides and then multiply by n. So let us first simplify this log of un upon un plus 1. So you can see that it will be, after taking log, I can write it as n plus 1 log of 1 plus 2 by n minus n plus 1 log 1 plus 1 by n minus log e. Now use the expansion, use this expansion of log 1 plus x is equal to x minus x square by 2 plus x cube by 3 minus x to the power 4 by 4 and so on. So let us expand this log 1 plus 2 by n. So one can see that it will be 2 by n minus 1 by 2 of 2 by n whole square and so on, minus, and also expand this one, expand these two terms. So after taking n plus 1 common from both the terms, I have this one, 1 by n minus 1 by 2 times 1 by n square plus minus 1. So you can see that 2 by n minus 1 by n, it will be 1 by n. Similarly, after simplifying other terms, I will get this one. Minus 1 by 2 n minus 3 by 2 n square plus and so on. But as per logarithmic test, I need to multiply it by n. So after multiplying, it will be equal to minus half, which is less than 1. So as per logarithmic test, the series diverges at x equal to e. Series diverges at x equal to e. So in general, I can conclude that summation un, this series denoted by summation un, converges for x less than e and diverges for x greater than equal to e. Actually, this equality is important, that whether e will be included in convergent case or divergent case. In every competitive exam, you will find this type of that at the what will happen at x equal to e at exactly at this point. So whether it will be included in convergent case or divergent case. So we need to discuss that case separately. Now another is Cauchy's condensation test. This one is a very important This is also form of comparison test. You can say that this one is also form of comparison test. Not to write here, but this one is. So it says Cauchy's condensation test that if Fn is a decreasing sequence of positive terms and A is any positive integer greater than 1, then summation Fn and summation A to the power n f of A to the power n converge or diverge together. I mean, they will behave alike. Again, look at this statement that if this sequence Fn is a decreasing sequence of positive terms, so this test is again applicable for positive term series in which every term is positive. And A is any positive integer greater than 1. So first requirement we have decreasing, second it should be for positive term series. And suppose A is any positive integer greater than 1, then summation Fn and summation A to the power n f of n. I mean, after replacing n by A to the power n and multiplying in this nth term by A to the power n, the nature of these two series will be same. I mean, if this one is convergent, then this will be convergent. So this is some sort of, again, you can say comparison test. And its particular case, this will be frequently used. So if I replace this A by 2, if in the above, suppose Un is a decreasing sequence of non-negative terms, then the two series, summation Un n running from 1 to infinity and this summation 2 to the power n into u of 2 to the power n converge or diverge together. So we will observe that this Cauchy's condensation test is very useful and it will further simplify several questions. So let me explain it with the help of some examples. So using Cauchy's condensation test, check convergence of this summation log n by n and summation 1 by n to the power p. In fact, you can easily verify the p, you can apply the p series test. Actually, this series can be proved with various ways, but using Cauchy's condensation test, it's very easy. Its proof is very easy. So let's just first look at the this series log n by n. So first of all, we need to write its nth term. So its nth term, one can observe here that its nth term Un is given by log n by n. So first of all, you need to check whether each of the term is non-negative or not for every n. So clearly you can see that log 1 is 0 and rest log n is increasing. So because the minimum value of n is 1, so it will be 0 or greater than equal to 0. So because n belongs to n, so I can clearly say that log n by n is greater than equal to 0. So this one is basically positive term series. In fact, you can say here like non-negative term series. Now, consider it as a function just to check whether Un is increasing or decreasing function. So let us evaluate first fx, nature of fx, whether it is decreasing or not, because in Cauchy's condensation test, the requirement is that Un must be decreasing. So you can see here that for x greater than 0, basically x is greater than 0 and n belonging to n is particular case of this one. So to check whether this for decreasing, f dash x must be less than 0. So let us evaluate its derivative. So it will be x into log derivative of log x is 1 by x minus log x and derivative of x is 1 upon x square. So it is basically 1 minus log x upon x square. Now for decreasing, f dash x has to be less than 0. F dash x has to be less than 0. Since denominator is non-negative, so everything will depend on the numerator. Because x is greater than 0, so obviously x square will be greater than 0. So denominator will always remain positive. So for derivative to be less than 0, 1 minus log x has to be less than 0. So this implies that log x is greater than 1 or x is greater than e. Now notice that the value of exponential lies somewhere in between 2 and 3. Basically, this one is an irrational number. Its approx value is 2.718. Its approx value is 2.718. So you can see that for n greater than 2, un upon un plus un is greater than un plus 1. So after neglecting the first term, you can clearly see that first two terms, you can see that this series is a decreasing sequence. This un is a decreasing sequence because fx equal to log x by x is decreasing, and it for all x greater than 0. So this n equal to 1, 2, 3, this will be a particular case of this x greater than 0. So again, this ensures that un is decreasing sequence. So those two requirements, look here, that the first requirement that it should be a series of non-negative terms, and second requirement is that it must be a un must be decreasing sequence. So if it happens, then the nature of these two series, summation un and summation 2 to the power n u of 2 to the power n, will be alike. So if we know the nature of this one, then I can conclude about the nature of the summation un. So let us now. So by Cauchy's condensation test, yes, by Cauchy's condensation test, we have proved that un is a decreasing sequence of decreasing sequence. So now replace n by 2 to the power n in un, and also multiply it by 2 to the power n. In this un, this n should be replaced by 2 to the power n, and we need to multiply it by 2 to the power n, and then I need to take summation. So what will happen? 2 to the power n u of log n by n. un is log n by n, so replace n by 2 to the power n. So we have log of 2 to the power n by 2 to the power n, and then I need to also multiply 2 to the power by 2 to the power n. So after simplification, it will be equal to n log 2. Since log 2 is independent of n, so I can take it outside because this one is a constant term multiplied in every term of this series. So I can write it as log 2 n equal to 1 to infinity n. Now we know the nature of this series, summation n equal to 1 to infinity n. This one is a unbounded divergent series. So, and as per Cauchy's condensation test, the nature of this series and summation un both will be same. So I can say that log n by n is divergent. See, this series will also, because this one is divergent, so it will imply that summation un is also divergent. So this implies that in fact log n by n is a divergent series. So this is what some sort of, again, a comparison form, because we are comparing the two series. But remember that this Cauchy's condensation test will be applicable to series of non-negative terms and where un should be decreasing. Now let us look at another example. So this one, whether this n equal to 1 to infinity 1 by n to the power p. Actually, I need to prove this one is a very famous series called as p series. I need to prove that this p series converges for p greater than 1 and diverges for p less than equal to 1. So how to do it using Cauchy's condensation test? So look, when p is 0, then un will be equal to 1. Un will be, and we know that the necessary condition for series is that in case of summation un, the limit of un must be 0. Then we will further check whether the given series is convergent or not. But if limit of un is non-zero, then I can directly conclude from here that series will be divergent. So for p equal to 1, for p equal to 0, this series is divergent because limit of its nth term is not 0. So I can conclude that series un is divergent in case P equal to 0. Now, what will happen if P will be negative? Look at case second. So when P will be negative, I can write UN as n to the power minus P. So P is already negative. This means minus P is greater than 0. So n to the power some positive. And look at the limit n tending to infinity. Again, it is not equal to 0. So again, I can conclude from Cauchy's necessary is that this series is divergent. So for P equal to 0 and for P less than 0. So in general, I can say that for P less than equal to 0, this series is going to be divergent. Now, what will happen for P greater than 1? For P greater than 0? Look at the series that for P greater than 0. So now, let us discuss the third case when P is greater than 0. Whether the given series, this summation 1 by n to the power P is convergent or not. Now look here that for n less than n, obviously n will be less than n plus 1 because n is a natural number. So n to the power P, because P is greater than 0, so same relation will hold here. N to the power P will be less than n plus 1 to the power P. So I can say that 1 by n to the power P is greater than 1 by n plus 1 to the power P. By Cauchy's condensation test, both this series UN and this converge or diverge together, provided UN is a decreasing sequence of positive non-negative term. So clearly here UN is a decreasing sequence because UN is 1 by n to the power P and P is greater than 0. So this one UN is equal to 1 by n to the power P. So for P greater than 0, this series is clearly decreasing. This sequence is clearly decreasing. So all the conditions of this Cauchy's condensation test are fulfilled. Now let us compare these two series. What will happen if I replace n by 2 to the power n and then after multiplying by this term 2 to the power n and then taking summation? So in this case, now, so by 2 to the power n, u2 of 2 to the power n, let us replace n by here n by 2 to the power n. So it will be 1 by 2 to the power n to the power P and multiply it by 2 to the power n. So after multiplying and simplifying it, we will have here 1 by 2 to the power P minus 1 whole to the power n. Now one can see that this one is a geometric series and with common ratio 1 by 2 to the power P minus 1. And we know under what condition a geometric series converges. If its common ratio is less than 1. So this one is a geometric series with common ratio 1 upon 2 to the power P minus 1 and is therefore convergent if this common ratio is less than 1. So after applying this condition, we will have 2 to the power P minus 1 greater than 1, or I can write it as 2 to the power P minus 1 greater than 2 to the power 0. So after comparing, I will have P minus 1 greater than 0 or P greater than 1. Now look at the, we have started with condition P greater than 0 and we have obtained P greater than 1 for convergent. So after taking its intersection, we have P greater than 1. So this implies that the series is convergent for P greater than 1. Thus, I can conclude from here that yes, from this P series test, now I can conclude that this P series will converge for P greater than 1 and will diverge for P less than equal to 1. For P less than equal to 1. So you can see, one can observe here that by Cauchy's condensation test, the proof of P series is very easy. There are other ways, I mean, one can prove it, but due to time restriction, I'm not going to discuss it here. Now let us go to one more question. I will discuss one more question. Similarly, you can the book which is mentioned in your syllabus, from there one can discuss, one can practice more questions. So as a home assignment, you can consider this question. Try this. All these are based on this Cauchy's condensation test. You can observe that each one of them is a sequence of positive terms, non-negative terms, where UN in each of these questions And also clearly the series, the term UN is decreasing sequence. So one can directly apply here Cauchy's condensation test, and you can do comparison. So I have just discussed two questions here. One can practice from the book which is mentioned in your syllabus. In next lecture, I will start this alternating arbitrary series of arbitrary terms. And in that case, I will again recall the concept of alternating series. And then we will look at the derangement, especially Riemann's theorem. Conditional convergent and absolute convergent, the difference between conditional convergent and absolute convergence.